Hello and welcome. This is Amhara Media Corporation Haber channel and you are watching our Thursday update live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia in Nayam Fukratizodu. Stay with us. First, House of People's Representative Speaker Taggese Caffo said realizing national dialogue will be historic achievement for Ethiopia. Let's get more from Ababa Burhane.
The Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission has presented its ongoing activities to House of People's Representatives and revealed its schedule to begin conducting the national dialogue. Praising the devoted works of the Commission and its members, the House Speaker said the national dialogue is one of the priorities of the nation for this year. He noted that realizing the national dialogue will be a historic achievement and it will be a great asset for the coming generation. Highlighting that the national dialogue will be conducted without any external interference, he said working for the realization of the dialogue will be crucial. Presenting the activities undertaken by the Commission and its next plan to the House, Chairperson of the Commission, Professor Mesfin Araya, affirmed that the national dialogue will begin by the coming March. Professor Mesfin said the Commission has been engaged in various preparation activities vital to the effective conduct of the national dialogue to help bring national consensus on prioritized issues at the nation. It was indicated that all segments of the society will be given equal participation and voice during the course of the national dialogue. The Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission, with 11 members, came into effect since February 23, 2022. Since then, the Commission has been undertaking a number of preparatory activities, including holding discussion with potential stakeholders to grasp experiences that would help to conduct successful national dialogue in the country.
Aksum Zion Mariam annual anniversary colorfully celebrated. The faithful in attendance of the annual anniversary of Aksum Zion Mariam celebration in Tigray region said that they have colorfully celebrated the feast due to the peace and stability which prevails in the city following the peace agreement. Muaddaw Muluye reports.
The annual Hadar Zion celebration of Saint Mary of Aksum is one of the main feasts celebrated by followers of Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This anniversary is celebrated to venerate Saint Mary and especially to honor the Ark of the Covenant in Saint Mary Church of Aksum. Followers of the faith told Ethiopian News Agency during the ceremony that many devotees did not celebrate the feast last year due to security concerns. But this year the feast was celebrated in a grand manner due to the peace and stability created following the peace agreement. They further expressed their hope to celebrate it more colorfully by ensuring lasting peace. The Church of Mary is an Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo church which is believed to contain the Ark of the Covenant. The church is located in the town of Aksum, Tigray region in northern Ethiopia near the grounds of obelisks of Aksum. The original church is believed to have been built during the reign of Izana, the first Christian ruler of the kingdom of Aksum during the 4th century AD and has been rebuilt several times since then. Today the site contains the older church building rebuilt in the 16th century, the modern cathedral built in 1950s.
The Ethiopian Communication Authority said Ethiopia will achieve Connect agenda for global telecommunication and ICT development before 2030. Let's get more from the report.
The Connect 2030 agenda for global telecommunication ICT development focuses on how technological advances will contribute to accelerate the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Communications Authority Director General Baljareba told Ethiopian News Agency that Ethiopia will surely achieve the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 target for the sector if it keeps moving at the current pace of telecom reform. He said that they are very sure that Ethiopia will really achieve the Sustainable Development Goals even before 2030 if they really keep up with the pace they are now moving. The government of Ethiopia has been carrying out telecommunication reform, including privatization and liberalization. According to the Director General, the country has recently put out a bid for the third telecommunication operator by partially privatizing the state-owned Ethio Telecom that will sell 40% of its ownership to a private company. He stated Ethiopia has already achieved certain milestones from the liberalization and partial privatization of the telecom sector. The country has launched the 40% partial privatization of the incumbent Ethio Telecom, which has been the sole telecom operator in Ethiopia for over a century. The effort of the government in introducing this privatization and liberalization is to make sure that the people really benefit from the advantage that they can tap from the competition, Balcha said, adding that competition will bring in tariff reduction, quality of services, as well as infrastructure availability, accessibility, and reliability for the people. The objective of the telecom reform in Ethiopia is to bring in accessibility in infrastructure in every corner of the nation, and at the same time to improve the quality of service as well as to bring in affordability. Stating that achieving universal access and service is the main aim of the telecom reform, the Director General said the government has put in place new universal access and service framework to support telecom operators to ensure the inclusive benefit of the people in the country. It was learned that Ethiopia has about 26 million mobile internet and 600,000 fixed broadband users through Ethio Telecom.
Africa has suffered $20 billion loss in over a decade due to cyber attacks. Data from sources such as the World Bank, International Telecommunication Union, and Telecom Regulated revealed that the continent of Africa has incurred $20 billion loss as a result of 873 million cyber attacks in the period from 2011 to 2021. Ababa Brahane will give us the detail.
Regional cyber attacks and financial losses 2011 to 2021 include the report of 40 African nations, 15 Latin America and 15 Asia or Middle East countries. Lead consultant for the UN Research on Cybersecurity Development, Jimson Olufaye said, cybersecurity challenge relates to all nations and this implies that all nations need to collaborate. He added that for cyberspace, they need to enact appropriate laws, putting regulations that will ensure even capacity development for citizens to enable them to know what to do or not. He said that there is positive cybersecurity in which about 65% of African countries have well-organized cybersecurity activity and there is a need to continue the process. According to him, low per capita outputs in Africa is a reflection of lack of proportionate increase in income, implying that African countries need to diversify their income base and boost intra-African trade. He said the stronger a nation's cybersecurity posture, the lower the financial losses per capita. Olufaye noted that nations therefore need to take cybersecurity seriously to reduce losses, if not completely eliminate it. He recommended the need for a stable and accountable national or organizational governance system over a sustained period of time for cybersecurity to have a stronger correlation with development. Laws requiring disclosure of cyber attacks and losses in corporate entities and individuals should be enacted to promote transparency and accountability towards improved effort at addressing the cybersecurity challenge. The consultant further recommended that mechanisms should be put in place to make it easy for victims to report such cases. Web app that enhances ease of reporting with free tips on how to prevent future attacks and recover from losses. Olufaye stated that as security offline is critical to economic development, likewise is cybersecurity critical to internet-enabled economic development activities in the fast pace for the fourth industrial revolution due to positive correlation of internet penetration and cybersecurity to GDP data across all the research regions.
Investment Commission calls diplomats of foreign countries to promote Ethiopia's investment. Ethiopian Investment Commission has called on foreign diplomats based in Addis Ababa to promote investment opportunities in Ethiopia in their respective countries. Let's get more from the report.
The Ethiopian Investment Commission organized a discussion forum with a view to promoting Ethiopia's investment opportunities to foreign investors. Ambassadors and economic and commercial attaché of embassies of various countries based in Addis Ababa have participated at the forum. During the occasion, Ethiopian Investment Commission Commissioner Lalisa Neme said Ethiopia is the most favored investment destination in East Africa. She further briefed the diplomats about the reform being held to attract foreign investment, including the measures taken to improve the investment law and business climate aimed at opening up the various investment sectors and economic activities to foreign investors. According to her, relaxing the investment regimes to facilitate friendly business environments, removing regulatory obstacles that hamper business and privatize the largest enterprises was aimed at attracting more foreign direct investment. She said the logistics sector is partially liberalized with the view to attracting foreign direct investment with knowledge, experience, and technology, as well as management. She added the removal of barriers to foreign investment will improve the efficiency of the logistics service and enhance the competitiveness of Ethiopia's export. The telecom sector is also licensed to foreign companies, she said, adding the opening up shows the government of Ethiopia's commitment. According to her, state-owned enterprises, including the sugar factory, are on the bid for privatization. The commissioner said since the peace agreement was signed, they are aiming for more investors. Before the outbreak of COVID-19, the government of Ethiopia has initiated a wide range of reforms that aimed at empowering the private sectors, liberalizing the country's investment policy regime, improving the overall macroeconomy and business environment, and attracting foreign investment. These reforms are motivated by the need to enhance the role of private sector and the economy and create business-friendly environments through streamlining the country's investment law, regulation, and connecting the macroeconomic imbalance. Lalisa Neme said Ethiopia plans to attract over $6 billion foreign direct investment during the year 2023. Lalisa said, despite COVID-19 and security problems last year, Ethiopia has managed to attract over $4.1 billion in foreign direct investment.
A project that benefits 54,000 persons in disaster-affected communities in Oromia and Somalia regions was launched in Addis Ababa. Moada Muliye will give us the detail.
The $18.8 million project is funded by the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation and the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency. Speaking at the launching ceremony, Disaster Risk Management Commissioner Shifarao Taklamariam said the project will help to solve problems of displacement in affected communities and to address the drivers of displacement. These pilot areas would definitely bring the affected areas a lot more experience to gain from there and scale it up to wider areas where it is needed and required, he added. Sweden Ambassador to Ethiopia Hans-Henrik Lundqvist said he is very happy to be here at the launch of the Durable Solution projects for Somali and Oromia regions. He added this is a real engagement from Sweden and Switzerland to support and to do real durable solution strategy. Switzerland Ambassador to Ethiopia Tamara Mona said on her part that Switzerland has been supporting Ethiopia's quest for durable solutions, especially in the framework of the Durable Solutions Initiative. The strengthened linkages between the United Nations agencies and local non-governmental organizations and authorities will help to provide synergetic operations to apply integrated approaches and increase community cohesion that improve access to livelihood. It was learned that the project would be implemented by Food and Agricultural Organization, United Nations Human Settlements Program, and the International Organization for Migration. Food and Agriculture Organization representative to Ethiopia, Farai Zilmudzi, recalled that the Durable Solutions Initiative in Ethiopia was launched in December 2019 amid great optimism from all corners, including the householders. This particular project was to serve as a pilot of Durable Solutions Initiative, bringing together multiple donors and multiple agencies to address displacement, she said, adding that almost 3 years down the line, we are very happy to see it come to fruition. According to her, over the next 4 years and for the duration of the project, the three agencies, namely Food and Agriculture Organization, International Organization for Migration, and United Nations Habitat, would work very closely with the regional and local authorities and other stakeholders, including potential beneficiaries, to provide internally displaced persons in the affected communities in Oromia and Somali regions.
This is Amhara Media Corporation Haber channel and you are watching our Thursday update. Proceeding to news beyond borders. Mandela grandson protests release of anti-apartheid leader Hani's killer. A group of demonstrators gathered outside South Africa's parliament in Cape Town on Wednesday to protest against the release from prison of the man who killed anti-apartheid leader Chris Hani in 1993. Janus Wallos, a Polish citizen, was granted parole last week after serving nearly 30 years of his life sentence for shooting Hani at point-blank range outside his home. Hani's murder had triggered nationwide riots. One of the Nelson Mandela's grandsons, Mandela, stood among a handful of black-clad demonstrators raising slogans outside the parliament. He recalled Hani's close working relationship with the late Mandela, South Africa's first black president. This release of a murderer of a hero of our struggle for liberation invokes painful memories of the past, Mandela told Reuters, saying such killers should be locked up for life. Larger demonstrations took place outside a prison in the capital, Pretoria, where Wallace, who is recovering from a prison stabbing, is being held. Kenya's Ruto launched flagship credit scheme for poor. Kenya's President William Ruto gestures as he speaks to his newly sworn-in cabinet secretariat at the State House of the Nairobi on October 27, 2022. Brahan Wargana will give us the detail.
Kenyan President William Ruto on Wednesday launched a micro-credit scheme, a key election campaign promise.
Kenyan President William Ruto officially launched his resourceful fund on Wednesday, the flagship measure of his campaign, intended to give the poorest access to credit and revive the economy of this African country from below east. The head of state, who presented himself during the presidential campaign on August 9 at the Herald of the Resourceful of the Common People, inaugurated the first part of his program, personal loans to a rate of 8% up to 50,000 shillings, approximately 400 euros, accessible to any adult Kenyan with a money transfer application by mobile phone. Endowed with a total amount of 50 billion shillings, approximately 400 million euros, over 5 years, the resourceful fund will include 3 other components: microcredit available by the end of January 2023, loans of SMEs by the end of March 2023, and startup loans by the end of May 2023. The Kenyan president said with this program, the government is committed to creating opportunities for millions of people at the bottom of our economic pyramid to advance and realize their aspirations. More affordable credit will boost borrower confidence and inject significant amounts into productive activity across the economy. This fund will also oblige borrowers to open a saving account, 5% of the amount of the loan taken out being automatically paid into a personal savings plan that the government will top up for a maximum of 6,000 shillings per year, approximately 45 euros. Since taking office in September, President Ruto has struggled to deliver on his campaign promises in a country struggling with historic drought, rising living costs, and a $70 billion debt burden. He cut costly food and fuel subsidies introduced by his predecessor Uhuru Kenyatta, and also pledged to make income tax more progressive in an attempt to reduce inequality. With these 50 million inhabitants, Kenya is the economic locomotive of East Africa, but a third of its population lives below the poverty line. Inflation officially reached 9.6% in October. It is highest for more than 5 years, while the currency, the Kenyan shilling, fell against the dollar, 122 shillings for $1.
This is Amhara Media Corporation Habar channel and you are watching our Thursday news live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. Now let's see the foreign currency exchange rate of the day. This is all we got for today. I am Fukrati Zodo and you are watching our daily update. Goodbye and have a nice time.